Next one I want to look at is another full-length suit, meaning that it has a full sleeve and a full leg, but this one's quite a bit thicker. This one's, I think these are actually considered, yeah, these are 7 mils, but like if you look here at the sleeve, their little Tilo logo says 7.5. Okay, so that means it's a combination of 2 different thicknesses of wetsuit. So like over your core and stuff up here, it's 7 millimeter, and then these little blue stretchy side panels are like 5 millimeter. Just slightly less thermal protection. You need a little extra flexibility and stretch. Those would be 5 mil. I want to hold these up, the edges of these up, so Jeremy can get an image of the different thicknesses for us. So this is the 7 millimeter. Then this one is like the 4 millimeter. You see how much thinner these get. And then this is the 3 millimeter. And I'll hold those all up together for you so that you can see the difference. You see that? And there'll be a graphic in the classroom, on the classroom page, that'll give you some general guidelines with a thermometer and how to kind of choose what thickness you need so that you can refer back to that. A thicker wetsuit like this 7.5, this is going to be a single layer as it stands. This would keep you comfortable down to the mid-60s, maybe 66, 67 degrees. And if you wanted to, if you're going to go a little bit colder, combine 2 suits, usually not 2 full-length suits, but there's no shame in putting like a 3 mil shorty on underneath a thicker full-length suit. That's actually a very, very good configuration to have. We very commonly send people out on dives with that combination throughout the winter in temperatures as low as, say, low 60s, maybe even like 59 degrees. Much colder than that, you're going to need some really thick gear. Especially for folks that are smaller, lower body mass. They don't typically have enough body mass to stay warm. Layers, just like if you're going to the ski area, you're going to go take the kids out to play in the snow. Layers, add layers. So very often we'll put someone in a 3 mil shorty underneath one of these 7.5 full-length suits for longer periods of time. So bundling them up in thick wetsuits can be very helpful. Moving on from there, this is the top half of a Farmer John, and then this is the bottom half of a Farmer John. So you have this set of pants that goes on, like the old farmer's overalls, that goes on first, and then the wearer will put on this top over and above it. And then that adds 2 7 mil layers together, giving you 14 millimeters over your core. This is a suit that'll very easily keep you warm into the mid-50s. And if you really need to get some extra insulation to that, you can start to add more layers. And so like this is a hooded vest. So a wearer can put this hooded vest on first, and then the Farmer John, and then this top layer, ending up with a nice thick layer over their core, staying comfortable and warm, no problem, even down into the low 50s, maybe even the upper 40s with something like this. Keep you fine, full submersion, up to an hour, maybe even a little more. Let's move on to talk about accessories. So transitioning into accessories, I'd like to point out, like I said, this is a hooded vest. So this hood is attached to this part here, which is actually worn like a vest, and it's connected so that you don't have seepage going in between 2 different pieces. Yeah? Very handy. We'll be talking more about that later. Then this is just a regular hood, and the majority of this hood around the sides and the back panel, this is like 5mm, and then here at the seals, it's a little bit thinner for more flexibility to get it on easier. And it's about 3mm there at the seams. These are great. Putting one of these hoods on when you're wearing one of these 7mm suits can make a huge difference. Remember, 30% of your body heat escapes through your head, and water is about 20 times more thermal conductive than air. So you can get very cold very quickly if you don't have the proper equipment, the proper exposure equipment on to keep you comfortable. Hoods, if you're going to be getting into water mid-60s or below, definitely want a pretty good hood. Keeping your head nice and warm can really make a big difference on staying comfortable in the water, especially if you're going to be doing some kind of full submersion activity, even snorkeling. Maybe not so much for like surfing or riding the jet ski, something like that. Water skiing is probably not the thing you want, but if you're snorkeling in cold water, you're going scuba diving, that would be great. I see kayakers go out with these little beanies on all the time because if you're wearing a baseball cap, once the baseball cap gets wet, it doesn't really keep you warm, whereas one of these little beanies can really help keep you warm. Moving on from there, somewhat warmer water. A lot of swimmers, a lot of divers like to use these little swim caps. We call them beanies sometimes, and they're only about 1mm thick, but they work great. It's just an extra little cap over your head. Keep that warmth trapped up against your skull. Makes a big difference. Helps you keep more comfortable. Next, let's talk about boots. There's lots of different kinds of boots, different thicknesses. Some with thicker, more rigid soles, heavier, thicker soles. These thicker soles help protect your feet when you're walking across beaches and sharp rocks and stuff like that. There's other ones that are basically just a neoprene sock that goes down inside your fin, or like you jump up on your surfboard with. And there's different heights, like these are high tops, but there's some of them that are like just a little swim shoe without all this extra material up here. Boots are great. And like I said, there's different thicknesses. You can get little thin boots that are only like 2 or 3mm all the way up to a full 7mm or even some 10mm thicknesses for really icy cold water. And then another thing is gloves. And gloves, again, they all come in all the different sizes and different thicknesses. One of the things that I try to encourage, especially like divers, to do, if you're going to wear gloves, wait until you've made any kind of buckling adjustments and things like that, especially if you're kind of inexperienced, so that you have that tactile feeling of your bare hand, and then at the very last second, put your gloves on right before you get in the water, and then these can help keep your hands warm. Yeah? Very cool. I think that about covers it. If you have any questions, just shoot me a message, and I'll get right back to you and let you know what I can do to help you out getting the right wetsuit equipment. See you in the next class.